Hi there. Welcome to the Math for Test Engineers. Pretty much the last topic that we have, it's graph theory. Again, our treatment is going to be informal, but let's look at some of the things that graph theory brings us. A graph, also known as a linear graph, that's what we are talking about. In fact, a computer network. A computer network would typically have computers connected. This is one way of looking at it. In fact, computers could be connected in this manner as well. And I could have all of them connected with each other. This is all not from a computer network perspective. There's a topology that we follow. Typically, this is the topology that we may have when it comes to LAN or a network. The other would be how we have got our statements lined up. The statements. If you have learned data structures, we know where graphs come into play. So we have graphs all over the place when it comes to the data structures. They're made up of nodes and edges. That's what graphs are made up of. So we have node. So there's a set of node N1, N2, N3, and then there are edges which connect these nodes. They may also be directed. So these are the nodes that we see, N1 through N7, and then there are edges which connect those nodes. So you can see N7 is an unconnected or a disconnected node. Where do we use them? We use them. Edges show flow of control, or in fact define and use a relationship. And nodes can be treated as program statements. So if I'm looking at integer I is equal to 0, or if x is equal to 0, x is equal to 0, do something. Each of these statements could become a node, and then I can put up a tree in place. There's a concept of degree of a node. So degree of a node, degree of N1 is 2. That is the connectedness. Degree of N2 is again 2. Degree of N7, 0. An isolated fellow. And what this degree means, degree indicates popularity. Popularity, typically social scientists use it for social interactions. That we would have this particular node is now an individual, node is connected with people. You could have LinkedIn connected with more and more people. Or Facebook, where you've got connections. The extent of integration testing, when you have got one module communicating with the other, either through messages or through public methods, could also be really deduced by using degree of node. So this is an incidence matrix. You should look at what an incidence matrix is. Incidence matrix is a graph with m nodes and n edges, is a m by n matrix where the element in a row I, column j, is a 1 if and only if node I is an endpoint of edge j, otherwise the element is 0. And this incidence matrix provides us the quality and how we could figure out the unreachable node. So one of the nodes is unreachable in our graph. Do you remember that? Yeah, that's what it is, and it is marked over here with those black arrows. Adjacency matrix deals with connections. adjacency matrix, deals with connections, spend a moment to go through the definition that we have. And with that, you'll be able to find out what this is going to be useful to us for. This is going to be useful for paths. Whom am I adjacent with? Network topology, router. I'm a router. I'm adjacent to whom? Another router, another switch, another computer. Deals with connections. The paths, as we talk about, we have got path. Path between nodes will also have a node sequence and an edge sequence. So we could have a path that goes from point A to point B in various ways. If it's a directed path, if it's an undirected path, it could take any one of those paths. And now you can see a graph over here, N1 to N7 marked differently. N1 through N7, each node could be a statement, each node could be a module. And then one can imagine, how will this help us in testing? At this point, there may be more if-else statements. You know that it would start giving me visually the number of paths that I can test. Even as a graph with nodes and edges, it has already started giving me clues as to how I can think. So now you can imagine, if this is used in a manner that we are thinking of by test engineers, it would definitely come to their help. So that's what we had in our graph theory piece. And this concludes our discussion on math for engineers. So I hope you not only enjoyed it, but are inspired to make use of math and learn more about it. Thank you.